Welcome to Space Socket. A 36-year-old married woman with a child says she can leave and find another man. Kevin Samuel steps in. Let's dive in.
Hello.
Hey, what should a man be
Hold on,
at?
hold on, hold on. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm married.
All right. Any children?
Or,
Go ahead.
um, it depends. Everyone has the right to ask, male or female, has the right to ask, for certain things, whether it's a short, tall, fit, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think that if a man does like a woman and she happens to have children, he has to realize that it's a package deal. I guess she might have everything. The woman might have everything the man is looking for, but she just has a kid. And if he's not willing to accept that,
So, do you pay attention to anything going on in in the news in the
I,
world?
I do.
Then saying that men should be able to. What you basically said, if what you were saying is true. Why do men get shamed for simply asking, "What do you bring to the table?" If everyone has the ability to, hold on, if everyone has the ability to ask for anything, it's no big deal.
That's true. I mean, I think that a lot of the mentality of people nowadays is warped anyway. Social media
Okay.
and everything.
Okay, but then
I
so
mean, and
is
a
it
woman shouldn't expect a man
okay?
to
You can't
take care of
overtalk.
a child.
You can't overtalk.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Have you been drinking?
No, I'm
No.
nervous. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Well, but one thing you just can't overtalk me, and I don't. I think it's kind of rude as a woman when a man is talking, you just start yelling.
I wasn't yelling, but okay.
Anybody can go back and listen to what she just did. If you got to try to get your light ass voice over my voice, you don't do that without yelling.
Okay.
So you're currently married.
And yeah.
If a man, why is it a package deal? Why must a man accept that?
If the man likes a certain woman and that woman has a child, he has to realize that it is a package deal.
He doesn't have to do that.
If he decides that he wants to pursue her
No,
and he
no,
finds that,
no. Because I'm going to ask you a question. Why do women feel like because they aren't married that the children belong to them?
what do you mean?
Meaning that, and if the world was in the right method, you wouldn't be a package deal because if you weren't with the father, you'd leave and he'd have his kids. So that's the way it used to be. This is
Well,
the way it used to be.
yeah.
If a woman decided she wanted to divorce or leave or not be around, she could carry her natural butt on if she went, but the kids stayed with the father. Those were hymns. But see, today you ladies act as though the children you have are yours, and though that you should be able to visit them on another man and make that non-biological, non-DNA tied man to tie him to another man's children. See, the way it's supposed to work is if you want to leave your family, you show up on another man's life, however it works, empty-handed. Then there are no package deals.
Well, I will say first that if a female decides to leave her boyfriend, husband, whatever, that there's most likely a reason.
No,
And
no, 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 no. Not
well,
over here.
in
No, no,
my
no, no, no. We don't over here. We deal in the men's side. You ladies leave because you're not happy because the wind changes. Sorry, man. Irreconcilable differences is a bullshit ass way for women to just get out of relationships because they're not happy. And whatever reason you leave, you should be able to leave, but you should not leave with the kids. See, prior to the 1940s marriage laws, women could go ahead and leave, but they left with exactly what they came with, and that's the way it should be.
why
Yes. Why? Because men earn more than you do. Men statistically are better parents for the children if you have to choose a male or a female. See, the facts are in. The data's really clear.
No.
Always has been. Okay, if you have a, how many women with multiple children, what's the percentage of a woman that has more than two children? What's the percentage chance that the second child is by another man?
A high, probably a high percentage.
Well, between 0 to 100, what would you give it?
About a 90%. No.
It's about 70. So that's the point, that women who are not married and have more than one child likely go out and get another man. See, you don't make good mating decisions. Whereas 54% of black men are single and childless. We make better decisions. When men are in relationships, men file divorce at a roughly 10 to 20% rate when the divorce happens. Women file a divorce at about a 90 to 80 to 90% rate. Like it or not, man, facts are stubborn things. Don't believe me. Go do the research yourself. So when a home is wrecked because of a divorce, it's a woman who's wrecking her home.
I don't agree with that.
I don't care if you agree, the facts are clear. And you always, and the thing is, women like yourself always want to give women the benefit of the doubt that if a woman left, it must be for a good reason. Let's play it your way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play it your way. What's a good reason to leave?
The husband or the boyfriend is not
No, we're talking marriage.
okay, and that he's not doing what he should be doing, or
Meaning what?
showing her he is not. It's unequal, meaning
What
one.
is a good reason to dissolve your covenant with God and your vow?
All right, one case, abuse. That would be a reason to leave.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do we verify this abuse happened?
I mean, there's some females who are quiet; they don't involve the police, so
No, then if that's the case, we can't verify it happened.
so
But
that means
not a good reason. No, ma'am. See, that's over here. We don't just let you ladies talk. I'm asking, what are some good reasons to dissolve your marital vow, dissolve your covenant with God, and you need to have better than just something happened. I'm just asking you to substantiate. You can have your opinion, stand on it, prove it. You say
right.
abuse, and I'm asking, what proof do we have? And you said, well, some places we don't. Then the places you don't have proof aren't a good reason.
I mean,
So what?
I can't give a reason why someone would leave. I know that.
Well, but you just said, but man, but then you
I
just
mean, yes,
contradicted.
abuse.
Man, you
Things
just
like that.
contradicted.
Some
Man, the
people
reason
don't
we even, no,
involve
man,
the
no,
police.
okay. Due respect, the reason we even here is you said if a woman leaves, it's usually for a good reason.
Yeah,
And you just contradicted yourself.
I can speak for
I
myself.
can't give a good reason why they leave, but they do. So what?
I mean, I did say abuse, but you're saying, what if it is it verifiable? Some women do not go
Yeah,
for
if it
abuse.
really happened, if it really happened,
So that
if it
means
really happened, listen, man, pay attention. If it really happened to the level or to the seriousness that we're talking about, then there should be a police report, history. There needs to be some. There needs to be some. Or do we just believe what a woman says?
no, and nor would you believe what a man says.
Right. You need some what?
Proof. I mean,
Thank you. And
family can
how do we get
proof.
that proof?
I mean, family can be a proof.
No,
They
man.
have
No, man. Unless the family,
observed.
excuse me, man. Unless the family witnessed it.
That's what I'm saying. They could have
Okay,
observed.
man. But that's not how life happens. That means somebody has to physically be there when the alleged abuse happens. You're talking about more likely that they came after and some story was told because they don't live there.
All right. Can we define abuse?
You said abuse, man.
Can it be more than physical? It can also be mentally, right? Mental abuse. A person
We
can
still
be
need proof.
mentally
We
abused.
need proof.
How
You're
can you
breaking
prove
okay,
mental
well, okay,
abuse?
man. Okay, see, and that's the case, and this is why I love these discussions. I believe we should have to have more than just a woman's allegation, a man's allegation, to wreck a family, break up a family, separate a household, and do all this stuff because it has such consequences. There should be a thing called no fault divorce should go away. I'm not saying you should not be able to get a divorce. You just need to be able to
Okay.
prove what's going on. Because I'm asking you, and you can't even, you're like, well, damn, he's right. And you don't want to say that I'm right because you know I'm right.
I mean, mental abuse you can't prove, but I mean, you can't prove mental abuse. But I mean,
Just like, you mean the stuff that happens to men at a very high rate, but they can't prove it?
I'm sure they get there's
Right.
mental
So, man, okay,
abuse
no, you can't prove it. If you can't prove it one way, you can't
in
prove it the other
there,
way.
so
So, thank
and
you.
and
No,
that's
ma'am, you can't
different,
prove it one way, you can't prove it the other way. So,
right?
abuse. All I'm saying is, if you want to say abuse, fine. Where's the police reports? Where's the documentation?
Well, aside from there will, I mean, the person doesn't feel like they're being treated the way they want to be treated. I mean, there's many reasons why
So,
somebody will leave.
okay, because somebody's feelings change.
Hmm.
So that's a reason to. Where is that written into the vows that we take?
It's not, and I personally,
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Do words mean things?
word exact, yes,
For better, for worse,
or
richer, for poor, in sickness and health, to death do us part. It doesn't say your feelings change, something happens. See, you can't substantiate why most women are leaving. And here's the thing. Let's just play it this way. How about this? How about I meet you halfway? If a woman in this case cannot prove, she leaves the kids. Why do y'all think y'all get the kids automatically? What makes you? And don't tell me because you carry them. That's a bullshit ass reason.
no. I mean, I've had this discussion before, and I feel that women. I mean, I've heard of some women who don't mind leaving their children, but and I mean, I feel that females would take their children because they feel that they can better
Mm-hmm.
raise their children.
Okay. All
And
right.
they're their
Well,
mother.
okay. Well, let's test that theory then. Let's test that theory. Prior to 1965, we had an 80% marriage rate in the black community.
Hmm.
We had a community, we had families, we had black businesses, we had structure. Now, 8 out of 10 black children are in single parent homes led by women. Is the black community better today than it was? Is the better functional output? So, by the proof of who's raising the children in a single parent environment, it shows that women are not doing a good job.
I
No,
mean, that's
no,
there's
no, 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 and not done. So if we have had over almost 60 years of women leading homes, and we got the proof to show it's not working, don't you think it's time to try something different? If the woman's not going to stay, you've already had your shot, and the black community is what it is. Do fathers have equal rights to their children?
they should, but in reality, some women don't give them the equal rights. I mean, I'm like a unicorn, so a lot of the stuff that
No, no. What do you mean women don't give them the equal rights?
meaning it's a lot of women will use their children as for leverage. Like
Then
if they
what makes them such? Then why are you defending them being single parents?
I mean, I'm not defending them, but they become single parents for what?
No, ma'am, you are. You're saying that if a kid is going to be with one parent or the other, it should be with the mother because the mother is the better parent. And there's nothing you're saying that makes her better.
I mean, if the mother is right, you know the mother don't have nothing to provide for.
Ma'am, I don't care about the exceptions. I care about the norm.
What is the norm nowadays? What is
If you
the
call yourself a unicorn, and I guess you consider yourself to be exceptional.
Yes, I do.
Well, back before the 60s, that was the norm.
But nowadays, is it like that in reality? Like,
And why isn't it?
because females are just different. They are.
Exactly. So they should. So if they decide to wreck their homes because they are different, they should go on without the kid. See, here's the thing. What you ladies do not want to seem to understand is you do not own a child.
No, you don't.
So, and we have had a system to where we give women preferential treatment because she's female, not for the best outcome of the child. But here's the thing, we have over 50 years of data to determine statistically, probabilities, what are the best likely outcomes for the child?
Hmm.
And even through all that, as a woman who calls herself a unicorn, you still deciding for women over men.
Because I'm a mother and I know
You have
I
any sons?
agree
You
that
have any sons?
I do. I have 2 sons and 2 daughters.
Okay, so if your sons were in the position I'm talking about, you'd want the child to go with their baby mama. Because what?
No, I would not want that.
Oh, okay.
But
So damn, no, no but. If you've got sons, why don't you ladies advocate for your sons like you advocate for the women?
that's a good question. I mean, I would, depending
No,
on
you're not. No, you're
if
not.
the woman is
Woman,
a
ma'am,
good
you
woman.
got 4 kids,
I
and
do.
you're talking like you got 4 daughters.
No,
The
if
very
my
thing I'm talking about represents 2 of your children.
okay, I will say that if God forbid that ever was to be a reality, I would if based
How old are your sons?
they're young. There's 5 and 3.
What is the percentage chance that your sons will marry a woman, a black woman?
Hopefully a high percentage, but
What's the
well,
marital rate in the black community right now?
I don't know.
What do you
I'm
think it
actually
is? What do you think it is?
I know it's low
What
because
do
a
you
lot
think it is?
30, 40%
Right. And is it going up or is it going down?
down. You can
So
see
if it's going down, by the time your boys are marrying age and the baby boomers and Generation X are out of the equation, what are the chances? So it's likely low that they'll get married anyway. And then how long does the typical black marriage last? How many years?
I mean, if I had to guess
Uh-huh.
between maybe I'm giving too many years, maybe 5 to 10 years.
5. And when a divorce is filed in one of these black marriages, what percentage of the time is a man filing the divorce?
30% of the time, 20, 40% of the time.
20.
Wow.
10 to 20. So if you have a marital rate around 30%,
Hmm.
and of those, so that means 7 out of 10 won't get married. You got a 30% marital rate. Your 2 sons are in this group. And if they do get fortunate enough to get married, they got a chance of having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 year marriage. And if they'll start looking down the barrel of a divorce, not 8 to 9 times out of 10, it's not your son that will be filing. Uh, what does that show? What does that show the problem is? On the boy side or the girl side?
The females.
And if that's the case, why should the children go with the females of that situation? No, ma'am. You're making don't be honest. Your
I,
sons, if
honest,
that's the case, don't give me the accidental. Well, it could. In the norm, in the norm, in the average, should the children be going with the women who are leaving their families, or should they be going with the men who are staying?
if the children are able to choose who they want to
No,
stay
no, no,
with.
no, 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 no.
I
And this
mean,
is why, and this is what I need you guys to understand. Even your black men, even your mothers are against you. This is a woman who has 2 black sons. Yes, ma'am. You're still, the way you're talking, ma'am. I have the comments up, but when I open the comments up, I guarantee you the men are losing their mind because you're talking about, well, if the children are old enough to choose, how about the grown-ups make a decision? How about the society makes a decision based upon what we can verify and see? What would be the better potential outcome? We've already got 50 years of single mother-led households.
right.
The boys aren't leaving. So if a woman wants to leave her marriage, we know what likely happens when a mother leaves the house. Why not let the children go with the boy?
I mean, this it's like I
They
don't know.
can't do it. And that's what I need you guys to understand. In the black community, the sisterhood code is so strong, it even overrides their biological imperative to their own boys. Man, people see you struggling to to not hold women accountable, even when we're talking hypothetically about your own sons?
I mean, because it's so wide,
Why do you mean it's so what?
the differences.
What do you
It,
mean the differences?
because a female can actually, nowadays women are doing well for themselves. And they
Ma'am, I judge the product, I judge women by the outcome, and the children of the outcome. Are today's children better off than the children were 50 years ago? Boys, on the average in the black community, are reading at a fourth grade level. Who's raising them?
their mothers.
Then they're failing. What are you saying they're doing good because they have a job?
No, but we also took what so we're talking about the
We
black
judge, okay, man,
right? That's what
judge the parenting on the children. Black children are at the bottom. Black boys are reading at a fourth grade level. They're dropping out at record levels. They're
but
detaching. Ma'am, whether you like it or not, you don't have to believe me. I challenge you to look it up yourself. Go look up the stats on black boys. And 80% of all black children are coming from single mother-led homes. So whatever success you are attributing to the mothers, it is not, N-O-T, not making it down to the children. So it doesn't matter what their success is if they're raising a generation full of children, boys who can't even read above a fourth grade level.
and what did you say the percentage is?
Of what?
Of the boys you saying that they're reading at a fourth grade level, because that's not
It's
every
more if the majority of the men, if the majority of boys reading at a fourth grade level and the 12th grade, that's a problem.
that is a major problem.
Okay, then,
But that percentage, you're saying that all single black women are their children ends up
I'm trying to be nice, right? I'm trying to be nice right here, man. Are you
no.
being serious? Seriously, why do you guys resort to this absolute value? You're saying all women. I'm saying 80%, 8 out of 10 black children are raised in single mother households. The average black boy is reading at a fourth grade level. Why do we need all when the majority is good enough? Is the black community better off today when it's freer than ever, or are we better off under Jim Crow segregation and all this other kind of stuff?
I mean, families were together, but you have to take into consideration everything that's going
They can't do it, dude. Look, I
on.
want you guys to understand. I want you guys to understand. This is how. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're not taking into consideration shit. We take into consideration the outcome.
But a lot of black males are being locked up and taken from their homes, just like back in the day.
When?
What do you mean when?
When one of these black males being,
A
oh,
lot of
ma'am, excuse me. 54% of black men are single and childless. That's over half. 54. You can verify this. Black Men Making It in America, the American Enterprise Institute. They did a 10-year exhaustive study. 54% of black men, single, childless. 61% in the middle class. The average black woman in this country makes less than, fully employed woman makes $28,000 or less. The average black man, $42,000. Men, go to blackdemographics.com. Black statistics for black people by black people. It's all laid out. Black men, even though black women are the most enrolled in college, the degrees you go to get are less useful. Because at the end of the day, we judge by the outcome. If you are a single woman and you're going to have children, you better be in the top 10% of earners or making at least what a man makes, because if you're making 74% of black women make less than $50,000 a year. That's not enough to take care of barely one person, much less a parent. And in this conversation, we've already said it. When a woman has 2 children, there's a high likelihood that the second child's going to come from another man. When, with a very low marital rate, when a woman in our community does get married, the marriages on average last less than 5 years. And when those marriages fail, the
Mm-hmm.
woman is filing for divorce 80+% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The outcome of all parenting, all children in the black community, which are 8 out of 10 black kids being raised by single mother-led households, the black boys are reading at a 4th grade level. That means you're not producing any men who are trained in skilled trades, in any kind of thing where they're going to be productive citizens. Man, that's just, these are just the facts. And you're still holding on to this, well, if women are doing bad, it's because they just had a bad breakup. Something didn't happen the right way, so we can't hold them accountable. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we have to, because they're not holding themselves accountable. And here's the thing. Who raising, okay, ma'am, let's say you raise your sons to be solid citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at the young girls? Where are their wives going to come from? See, I think that you ladies just don't like looking at it because the problem is too big and it makes you feel some kind of way because you don't want to hold women accountable.
No, I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. I mean, and also you're generalizing everything.
No, ma'am. See, that's bullshit. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to facts, data, statistics aren't generalizations. I come with statistics. You have opinions. 51% is the majority. You would call that a generalization. That's a fact.
Where does these percentages come from? Who's coming up with these percentages?
Again, so when they shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. When they can't win on facts, data, statistics, they start deflecting and start dissecting the numbers.
I'm asking,
I've cited all my sources.
coming from who?
I've cited all my sources. The Department of Labor, the Bureau of Statistics, the Department of Health, the Center for Disease Control. You know, all the people in the federal government who know what they're doing and have reams and reams of data, more than just your opinion and your anecdotal experience. They got it all. Let's see, what state do you live in?
I live in New York.
New York. What borough?
I live upstate.
Okay. Carry your ass down to New York City, walk outside, carry your ass to New York City, go to Harlem, go to any borough, and I want you to look at just look at the observable outcomes.
See what it is. I know what it is. I'm from the Bronx.
Right. And when you see, and how many two-parent nuclear families do you see in the Bronx, in black people?
Not a lot. And my mother was a single woman and she raised very successful. She had 7. And we're pretty much all successful. None of us been locked up in jail. She had 4 boys and 3 girls. I'm the oldest.
What the fuck is that supposed to, what does that change? No offense, man. No offense, man. No offense.
She's
listen, listen, man, listen. Black women, you need to start looking at probabilities and not possibilities. I need you to understand how hard you're fighting for something you can see is failing.
I mean, yes, the generations coming now, yes, I agree. There's an issue.
An issue?
I mean, yes, it's an issue that, I mean, it can't.
What does the future look like for your sons?
I don't know.
Man, no, we're gonna know. We're gonna know. What if you said that you would like them to be married?
I would.
And where the wives coming from?
Whoever they fall in love with. I don't.
Where are they coming from?
Wherever they.
So in other words, you just hope it works, right? What do you, based upon what you see right now in our community, where are the women that look like them that will be wives?
I mean, scattered abroad. It's scattered. I mean, there's many successful black people where I live. I mean, I'm sure
I'm going to ask you one dead honest question because everybody can see you're sitting there lying to yourself. Do we have enough solid women to be wives for black men who want wives?
That I can't. I can't come.
Look, watch a lie, y'all. Watch a lie. Watch. Look at her. Look at her squirm. Look at her squirm.
I said I can't confidently say yes.
Well,
Because of
so
what
and is that number rising or is it falling?
it's rising.
The number of so we have suitable wives
Oh,
increasing,
no, it's falling, I guess.
right? So by the time your
Does
boys,
it now?
so by the time your boys reach 27 to 30 years old, the numbers are going to be even lower. Where are the wives coming from? If the mothers are supposed to raise, if the mothers can't stay, see, here's the problem. If you are not going to be married,
Hmm.
if you're going to have a single parent dynamic, according to the numbers, women are not doing a good job based on the outcome of the children. I don't care who shot John, why they got there. That's what it is. What has to happen before women like you think it's time to do something different? Let's even talk something as simple as automatic custody goes to the father.
Hmm.
What has to happen?
An agreement.
No, automatic custody, not an
Oh, for
agreement.
to automatically get.
Yeah, like it happens today.
I mean, there would have to be an agreement immediately between.
No agreement, ma'am. See, an agreement means you have a choice. Automatic means it already happens without you. What has to happen to the state of the community, the black family, before you would change your mind and say, you know what? We need to try something different, meaning the kids go with the fathers.
How many fathers actually want their children?
You answer my
Full.
question first. No, you answer my question first. That's not how we do that. And tell guys, again, when they answer a question with a question, it's disingenuous attempt to deflect.
I'm not trying to deflect.
Answer my question first.
Can you repeat your question again?
No.
I mean, how many? I
No
don't.
question.
I
What
can't.
would have to happen? What would have to happen?
I mean, I don't. Something drastic for that.
Like what?
I mean, where the Child Protective Services has to get.
Automatic does
I mean,
automatic. We're not talking about down the line.
I,
Automatic upon birth. Automatic.
I don't know what would have to be done.
Automatic. What would automatic? See?
I know what would have to be done.
No. Oh, so no. I'm asking you because in your scenario, there needs to be agreements and this and that. But right now, it's the mother is automatically given custody of the child. What would have to happen? What needs to happen? Okay, here's a better question. Can you envision a scenario where it gets so bad to where it would be automatically best that we just give the children to their fathers?
And it would be each female is different.
That's why I need you, black men. I need you to understand. Even your mothers, if they think like this, they're not on your side.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Don't listen to your feelings, black men. Don't listen to your feelings. Listen with your ears.
That is not true.
Listen to this rebroadcast with your ears. This is a mother with two boys. And we've gone over the facts, the data, the statistics, the probabilities, this and that. But at the end, I'm simply asking, what has to happen? What kind of scenario would have to happen before you as a woman would be saying, we need to start giving, if they're not going to be married, and this is what's happening, we need to give the kids to the father. And that's the thing. This is why so many countries resisted giving women power for so long, because once they give it, they don't want to give it up. And it doesn't matter what the outcome is because of the selfishness. I need you to understand. The black community is the black children are at the bottom, man. And it's a free country.
Mm-hmm.
But before no fault divorce, children of the marriage were considered property of the father. And and you know what? And like it or not, you know it, I know it, anybody else with a functioning brain can see what's the worst that could happen. If fathers had if this is what we're getting, what's the worst that could happen if you gave to the fathers?
I mean, men are not emotionally equipped to raise girls and stuff sometimes. And for boys, yeah, I believe that boys should maybe go to their dads because one thing I don't like, and I will,
So
is the women.
I want you guys to understand something.
Women
I
can
said,
mother, even though
I
they're
said, what's the why? Well, men aren't emotionally equipped. So that's a stupid argument because that means just by definition, women can't raise boys. See, what you're basically saying is there's nothing that women can do that are so bad that we shouldn't take their children. This what this comes down to, people, is the ownership level that so many women in general, black women feel as though we are their property. They feel as though we're their property. Those aren't our kids. Those are her kids. And this is over the last 60 years, this has become ingrained to where you hear women talking about their children, even married women talking about their children as if they have no father. My kid, my kid. Oh, and this is ridiculous. And it's all about your ego and pride because it'll be different if women spoke of the kids in a prideful way, but then we're actually doing what was best for the kids, but they're not. And you can sit here and look at all the facts. You can look at the observable evidence, but this goes so deep for them because they believe that that's mine. This is why I say, gentlemen, be careful of the women you deal with because you're not going to change a woman's mind. You need to deal with a woman if you want a family who is already family minded, who is thinking about the best interest of the kids, your best interest. Because if you're dealing with a selfish person, you putting women. I'm looking at you.
I mean,
Because I'm asking you
they,
I'm asking you at what point I'm asking you at what point does it get no ma'am at what point does it no ma'am at what point does it get
is
bad no ma'am at what point does it get bad enough to
every
where at
situation.
what point does it get bad enough to where society needs to step in and say enough of this?
More kids dying or something. I don't know. That's drastic.
More kids dying.
That's drastic to me. I mean, I don't know.
Drastic. What? Giving the automatic custody to fathers. Why is that such a bad thing? Why is that so hard?
Me personally, I am not saying it is a bad thing. I said
But you haven't answered the question. It's not
because
situational. Well, no, it's not situational right now.
I can't answer a general. I
Yeah,
can't.
you can. Yeah, you can. You can. Okay. Yes, you can because okay. If it's already bad, what do you want boys reading at the second grade level?
No.
First grade? What needs to happen? Because the boys are failing. What needs to happen? What needs to happen? An 80% divorce rate? What needs to happen? Black wealth at zero? Black average marriage drop down in the single digit? Because we're talking about the children.
Right.
And all I'm saying is, if you don't want to be married,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be free to do what you want to do, fine, but the kids go to the man. Because men, statistically, have been shown to be more solid, stable fathers. You don't have to like it, man.
Situational.
It's not situational, ma'am. See, that's what you see. This is where I'm trying to be nice, ma'am. This is where your ignorance is coming through.
I'm
Go
not.
look. Go
I'm
look.
not.
Okay. Go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I need you. It's not situational. Go look up the CDC data on living conditions of single parents and single children. Not single parents. Children from single parent homes when they break it down from fathers to mothers. Because what you believe in this country, what group of men are shown to be the best, most active fathers?
The Caucasian invite.
You're so dumb. It's us, black men. You don't even know how good black men are. They don't even know.
There are
They
good
don't know. She said Caucasian men. She
because
said Caucasian men. Who could not see that everything I've talked about, that the first thing he went to, the white man?
there are black fathers, but they're not
I
publicized.
said, go look at the data yourself. This is getting sad. And you have sons.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
But one saying you want me to speak general, and I cannot, because in my eyes, it's situational. There are the
It's not situational. See, that's one of the worst things that happened to
so
this
what
country.
if there's a
That's the,
community where
I'm
it's
gonna tell you guys, one of the worst things that's happened to this
the
country is
money?
somebody has. I'm
Take
gonna
a
just talk on over
school.
you. No, I'm gonna just
One
talk on
more
over you.
lawyer
This
for
is one of the worst things. This is one of the worst things that's happened to this country. This eighth place trophy and everything is a situational special snowflake. That means there's no fucking rules. That means everything can't be judged. So whenever you try to nail a woman down or something, she goes back to the situational. It depends. That's you. When you often hear
but it is.
women on other shows and on panels, you have the one woman who everything is a shade of gray, and everything comes down to the individualization. That's what it's called. It's called individualization.
Everyone
CDC report on black fathers.
everyone should be
CDC report on black fathers. CDC reports fathers' involvement proves black dads are the most involved, and the Pew Research shows the result that the role of American dad is changing. Do your own research. CDC report. Black dads, most involved. Pew Research. That's us, black men. So it doesn't matter if this woman and women like her don't want to give you your flowers. Go get them yourself.
if black men
Because she got, when I asked you, man, you said it was the white man.
because that's what they make you
But
believe.
you're a black mother.
Black
But
men,
you're a black. But hold on. Fuck that shit. You're a black mother raising black sons. You should know better.
and I know
You're a
that
black mother raising black sons. You should know better. You're a
absolutely,
black mother raising black sons. You should know better because if the world's gonna make them think that they're less, you're the first teacher of your kid, right?
but
You're the
that's
first teacher of your kid.
belief.
You're the
I
first teacher of the kid. Then you should know all the good stuff about black. No, ma'am, you should know all the good stuff about black kids, black men in particular. It seems like they get such bad stuff pumped to them.
mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use your argument and show you where women like you are failing black boys. And I think I'm saying is just trying to look at what they're doing. If black men are the most involved fathers, why? Can you imagine a world to where women are not more important than men? And this is what this
Women
back
are
and
not.
forth, this back and forth has been a good example of, I think, our community, our culture, where women have been prized and put on power so much, to where your default position, whether you want to say it or not, is women are best for the kids.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you have. You've said it, ma'am. You
You
have that way.
general.
Okay. Now then again, and then again, if they're not married, we can look at the outcomes right now. Automatically, custody is received to the mother
Mm-hmm.
based upon the outcomes that we see right now.
But then is that the judge's fault? Isn't that the judge's fault? Because
No, it's not. No, it's not.
if the judge
No, it's not. Okay, so again, so we go all the way from the mother and the father to the judge. Accountability is like kryptonite, people. That's why I wore green. That's why I wear green. Accountability is like kryptonite. And I need you to understand that it doesn't matter if it's cussing or fussing back and forth. Man, this is a part of our culture to where you as well, our women, you think you're better at what you do than you are. And even on the numbers, on the facts, it's like, well, you know, if you're losing at something, it's only common sense to say, let's try something different.
yeah, but I see, but you're not asking me my opinion. You're asking
I
me.
have asked you your opinion. I've asked you your.
You're asking me based on the statistics that you're giving. You're not saying.
No, ma'am. I've asked you based on the. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Asking me
You're right.
what
I've asked
you
your
think.
opinion based on reality.
Right, and like I said, based on people I know and situations.
Ma'am, I'm not asking your opinion based upon anecdotal experience. I'm
saying-
asking you. So, ma'am, your anecdotal experience only works for you. Because in your anecdotal experience, your child rearing in the Bronx worked just fine. But we know the Bronx didn't work out that way. But your life experience, it does. See, we're supposed to be the adults, and we're supposed to be able to make decisions based on reality.
Right.
Not just, well, let me tell you what I think. Or let me tell you what I feel. No, we're supposed to talk about what we think. And see, and this is why I love when we always put problems off on white people. Well, Black people need to learn how to critically think and talk about difficult things so we don't have to keep saying, well, the judges and this and that. When you think of a judge, are you thinking of a black person?
I'm just thinking of a judge.
And what does that judge look like? What race is that person typically?
They could be black, white, Asian.
What race okay, when you think
I'm
of a judge, what race?
thinking of a specific race when I say
Uh-huh. Yeah, you just think about void. It's just a void, right? It's just a void.
judge, period.
Okay, and see, this is what I need you guys to understand. This is why I keep my foot on women's like you're next, because you lie.
Who's
Everyone has an archetype. You lie. You're lying.
I am
Human being brains work on archetypes. You say judge, and the
not
immediate thing that comes to mind, no, ma'am, you're not gonna fucking talk over
judge.
me. I know what I'm talking about. Enough. Enough. When you say police officer, there is an automatic archetype that comes to mind. If you think pastor, there's an archetype. When you say politician, there's an archetype. You say president of the United States. The first thing that comes to your mind is not just a nebulous void, it's a white man. When you say judge, you cannot tell me that you don't associate an archetype, male, female. You associate one of those, and then you associate a race.
But when it came to the
Yeah, enough of this shit.
yeah,
Bye. We've
bye.
had enough.
A 36-year-old married woman with a child saying she can just leave and find another man sounds confident, but it overlooks the reality of what she's actually stepping away from and stepping into. Because leaving a marriage, especially with a child, isn't just a reset. It's a major life shift with long-term consequences. This is where Kevin Samuels would bring in a hard reality check, because the assumption that you can easily replace a committed situation with something equal or better doesn't always align with how the dating market works. Once you add divorce and a child into the equation, the dynamics change, and the pool of men willing to step into that situation becomes more selective. The issue here isn't whether she can find another man. It's whether she can find one willing to offer the same or a greater level of commitment, stability, and long-term investment. And that's a much higher bar than simply attracting interest. There's also the deeper point. Marriage isn't meant to be treated as something disposable when a better option feels possible. Because constantly thinking there's something better on the other side can lead to decisions that trade stability for uncertainty.